Everybody, David here, another live stream. It is Monday, and we're doing Q&A today. So we're just going to do some question and answer. I know I started a few minutes late. It's 7. End up jumping on that card. I have the other two, so I have the two larger cards. So I might jump on this one as well, just to get that 50,000 bonus points. So as you come in, just let me know you're here by saying hello, and we will get started momentarily. Let me know if everything is going okay, if the audio is fine, the video is fine, because if there are any issues or anything like that, I need to know so I can make adjustments. So we'll just wait a couple minutes for people to get in here. And I didn't promote this out. Let me actually push this out to everyone so we can all see that I'm doing a live stream right now. And let's see, let me get a link here. Got the link down below. Yeah, we'll do that. So just give me a second to do that. And I'll push it out. And I'm hoping everything is running properly. I was doing some tests yesterday, so I'm hoping everything is public so everyone can see. Because usually I have a few people in by now. So I'll have to make sure that's all okay. Yeah, that's fine. It is a public stream. Yes, that's good. All right. Let's go ahead and push this out here. And yeah, like I said, as you come in, I can't see who you are, so I can just see that there are people here. So as you do come in, just let me know you're here by saying hello. And let me keep pushing out here. I'm trying to get this. Okay, here we go. So let's leave that one. And then push this out to the group. And hope everybody's doing well. This is my day off, so I'm off on Monday, but I will be getting back to work on tomorrow. So let's see, in Costa Rica, we're just gonna send this one anyway. No, that's not a page. Let's do a group. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, there's the group there. So as you guys come in, just let me know you're here by saying hello. And let me just get this link out to everyone so they can see we're on live. All right, looks like it's going. All right. Okay, so today we're just going to pretty much do question and answer, just some Q&A stuff. If you have travel questions, anything related to travel credit cards, we'll talk about that as well. And I do want to review that, dropping frames here. I do want to review the Chase business cash card, because that is a very interesting looking card, being that you have $500. You get 500 back, cash back. But if you have one of the Big Brother cards, you'll be able to move the points up to one of those cards and use those points for travel. So definitely a good card to consider. And all right, let's see here. So as you come in, just let me know you're here by saying hello. And if you're in here right now, hit the like button. That'll let more people know that we're doing a live stream right now, and allow them to jump in. And it looks like I'm getting some buffering, so I think my internet is not working the way it should be. And that hurts for people to come in. So everything is good with me. Everything is pretty much the same, but I moved everything over just a little bit. So it might look a little different in the background today. I just had to kind of move it over just a little bit, and then I added some different things there, not in the background, but just around the area. So I hope everything's pretty much the same, though, as far as the way it looks. If you guys are in here, please hit the like button, and then also please let me know you're here just by saying hello in the chat, so I can see who's here. Nika, what's going on? And then we're going to talk. Alan just got a new card today. He got that business. He showed a picture of his business that cash card. And that card looks really good. And it's comparable to the card that I already have, which is a business, the Business Plus card, which they don't offer anymore. So I'm really interested in looking at this card. We're not really going to do the affordable travel today, but if you guys have questions about travel, please shoot it my way, and then we'll address those as we move forward. But I want to look at this card because I'll probably end up getting this business card because it does look good, and it will kind of solidify the cards that I already have. So that's what we'll do there. David, what's going on, buddy? Marriott Denver. How was that? You said you were going to try that. I think you've already been to the restaurant at the airport with Priority Pass. Let me know how that went. If you have any pictures, I actually won't be able to show pictures, but let me know how that went because I'm interested. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is the business card that Alan just picked up. So we will talk a little bit about that. If Alan does come in the room, it'll be great because maybe he can give us a little bit of input. But yeah, I definitely think this is a card that's very interesting, very interesting looking card to get. And I have the other two cards, so this is definitely a card that I should get. Why not, right? Kind of rounds out my whole business setup, as well as the card has 50,000 bonus points, sign-up bonus, so that's really good. Okay, let's see. My chat is not working. So as you come in the room, just let me know you're here by saying hello, and then we will move forward right now. There's my chat. I don't know why I need to refresh it sometimes, but I do. Okay, now let me know the audio. The audio last time was terrible. It was just I was peaking. Okay, so I'm talking, and then I hit the high note, or not the high note, but if I talk loud, it was like really, really peaking. So if it's doing that again, let me know. I'm still working on jumping back and forth when it comes to the setup. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this to you guys just so you know. So I have this mic here that I use for live streams, and then I use a regular mic for everything else, all the other videos that I shoot. But when it comes to the sound, there's different amps that I can use, I guess you can call it. So I can use this as itself. I can use the computer, and then I can use the camera. And so I've been kind of switching back and forth between the three to see which one sounds the best. And at this point, the one that I did last time, I didn't like the way it sounded at all. I think that was the computer amp. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started here. And let me first give some shout outs here. And let's see. So Jeremy, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Jessica, how you doing? Rolo, what's up? Nate and Jess, how you doing? All right, great. So we can go ahead and get started. And we're going to talk today about a card, and then we'll just do whatever questions you guys have. We'll talk about that. If you guys have any travel-related questions, that would be great, some affordable travel. I've traveled to several countries in South America. That's kind of my go-to spot. I just love the Latin culture. So I do go to South America a lot, mainly Colombia. Colombia is like that's the spot that I love that place. I love Colombia. So if you guys have any questions that's related to Colombia, I've been to Colombia, been to Costa Rica, been to some parts of Mexico, which, Mexico's not South America, but you get it. So Central America, South America, Mexico, anywhere in Latin America, I want to travel to. So not anywhere, but a lot of places in South America, like Venezuela right now. No, it's probably not going to be a nice trip there. Bruce, what's going on? And all right. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to pull out this card, or not pull out the card, but I'm going to show you guys this card. Alan in our group just showed the card. He just got the card. So I think this is a really good card if you have a business. Even you don't necessarily have to have you don't have to have a real big business. You could sell on eBay, you could sell on Amazon, FBA. You can sell a lot of different places and still qualify for this card. I have a photography business. It's part-time. I have a regular job, but I do my photography business on the side. I shoot maybe 3 to 4 weddings a year, so I don't shoot a lot. But I still make money doing it, and it's still a legitimate business. And so I do have business cards with Chase. I have the Chase Ink Business Plus card. That card is no longer available. I'm grandfathered in, so I still get the same perks, but it's no longer out there for everyone. It's now the Chase Ink Business Preferred. I have the Chase Ink Unlimited card. I just got that one the end of last year. Really good card, 1.5 points for every dollar spent on all purchases. So it fills in all those gaps, right? And now we have this Chase cash card that I'm looking at. And the main reason I'm looking at this card is because it rounds out my business cards, as well as I do have another business card too. I have the United business card, United Explorer Plus business card. So this can really do good for my rounding out my business cards. So that's why I want to look at it today. And then maybe if you guys have questions or anything about getting business cards, I can help you with that as well. So let's go ahead and pull this up. And let's see. Pulling up the wrong thing here. All right. And hopefully Alan will jump in. And if he does jump in, he can let us know his how he feels about the card. Just like I said, he just got it. So, Jeremy, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So the Chase Ink Business Cash Card. And the first thing that I noticed about this card is you get that $500 cash back. And, well, I'll say the absolute first thing that I noticed is there's a 0 annual fee. So no annual fee on this card. And I think they're giving you some really good perks like earn with this card to have 0 annual fee. So that's really, really interesting to me. Now, if you have one of the complimentary cards, so you have the Chase, in this case, it would be even the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Ink Business Preferred, then you can send those points up that way and use them for travel. And that's what I would do personally. So I would get the 50,000 points or the $500 cash is what they're saying, and then transfer it up. So let's take a look. So no annual fee. You're going to get the 500 bonus cash back. That's after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months. So that's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. And I've noticed the business cards, they tend to do that. So they will give you a little bit extra as far as points, because if you get like a Chase Freedom card, you're going to get what is $150 or 15,000 points. But the other card that I got, the Chase Ink Business Unlimited, which is equivalent to the Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Chase Freedom card, it gives you 500 or 50,000 points, as opposed to the Chase Freedom card giving you 150 or 15,000 points. So I think it's interesting how they do this. Let's see. Let me move this around. My mouse doesn't want to work today. Okay. So the earn possibility on this card, pretty standard, 3,000 spend, minimum spend, not too hard to hit for me personally. We all have our own, spending habits, but for me, I could easily do that. And if I got the card, I'm going on a trip in, actually, what's today? The 20th. I'm going on a trip in exactly a month. So I'll easily spend that cash, probably on the trip. Well, no, I won't. I'll spend some of it before. If I get the card, if I sign up for the card and get it in the next couple of days, or next week, I should say, then I'll probably be close to that minimum spend. I'd say earlier mid-July. Okay, let's see. So you get the 0 APR for the first 12 months. I never do this, so I never do like a wired, not wire transfer, but do a fund transfer where I'm taking money from another account. And they try to entice you by doing that. Like, you have a credit card and you transfer those funds over to this card, then you pay it off with this card. I'm not a big fan of doing that, especially if it's a travel card, or in this case, though it's a cashback card, the the interest rates are really high on these. So although you get the 12 months zero, once that 12 months hit, if you haven't paid it all off, then now you're in a different situation there. Okay, so you're going to earn 5% cash back on the first 25,000 spent on combined purchases, and that's each anniversary year. And so this is at office supply stores, which is great. And I'm telling you, this is just like the Business Plus card that I have. So you'll get 5% back on that, and then you'll get 5% back on internet, cable, and phone service. So this card, it's kind of it's one of those deals where if I got this card, yes, it does a lot of things that the card that I have right now does. But is it worth getting the card? Yeah, it probably is, because you get the 50,000 points, right? So it's kind of doing that. I can get the 50,000 points, and then if I want to, at some point with the card that I have now, the Business Plus card, I can do it's not even a product change, but just switch it over to the Business Preferred card, and then keep this card, have the Business Preferred card, and then still do work it the same way. So that might be what I do. You're going to earn 2% cash back. That's going to be at gas stations and restaurants. So not bad. Gas stations, I can definitely get some use out of that. But as far as restaurants, I would still use my Chase Sapphire Reserve and get 3% back. So that's how I would work that. Earn 1% back on all other purchases with no limits on the amounts. Okay, so they do cap these at 25,000. And I need to check my Business Plus. I don't know I can't remember if they capped it or not. Maybe they didn't cap it. So that would definitely make me want to keep that card, because I get some of the same benefits and there's no cap. So I'll have to check. It's been like 3 years since I got that card. I've never hit 25,000, not in either of those categories. The great thing about office supply stores is, and this is what I do. I used to do it a lot more. I need to get back into it, but Staples or Office Max, what I would do is I'd order online and then just go pick up in the store. They have a really good system there where you can just go right into the store, get whatever you need. Not get whatever you need. You can order it online and go right to the store. They have everything right up in the front, all ready for you when you're ready to go. So I would do that. I kind of have a routine, go to work and then order at work right before I leave, and then go pick it up, and then I'm on my way. And there are a lot of things that you can get at Staples that you can get at a grocery store, but you get it at Staples, you get 5 points for every dollar spent. I would even get some. Now, I didn't go crazy with this, and you have to really be careful when it comes to getting like gift cards and stuff like that. But I would get gift cards for certain things, and some of them were like legit. Like you get legit gift cards, right? So you can give out to customers and stuff like that. So I would do that as well. So, so it works out. It's a real good setup for me when I do that. All right, let's move on here. Every time I stop, my mouse wants to stop working. Okay, let me kind of do this. Move this forward here. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on. Anything else? Redeem cash back and more. You can redeem for your rewards for cashback, gift cards, travel, and more. Yeah, see, so and you can just transfer them up, and that's the beauty of Chase and the way they have their cashback cards. They will allow you to do that as long as you have that card, that Sapphire Preferred Reserve or the Chase Business Preferred. As long as you have one of those cards, you can transfer up and use those points for travel. So I just think it's a great setup, and then there's no annual fee. I mean, you can't beat that, right? You don't have to pay an annual fee ever on this card, so that's good. Let's see, employee cards at no additional cost, so that's good. Zero liability protection, so that's good too. So you're protected. One of and I try to talk to my friends and family about credit cards and using credit cards as opposed to using your debit card. And I've had this personally happen to me twice actually. One was on my debit card, and the other was on a PayPal account. But using your debit card, it's a direct tie to your bank. And I had a situation where someone cloned my card And I don't know how they got that information. I don't know if I was at a gas station or restaurants is a big thing too. You go to a restaurant. What do we do when we go to restaurants? We go to the restaurant, we sit down, we have our meal, and at the end, they'll bring out that little, little folder thing, and you put your debit card in there, and then they take it off, and then they come back with the receipt, and you sign it, and you're on your way. Well, you should never do that, and I didn't realize it. Like for years and years, I've been doing it that way. But anytime that card leaves your site, you should always use a credit card. Never use your debit card, because they can easily skim that, because they have control of it now. You don't see them with it, so they can take it and go somewhere, skim it, and then get all your information off there, sell that information on the black market to whoever wants to purchase it, and then now they have that information and they can use it to make purchases. So anyway, I was in a situation. It was a Saturday. I happened to be working. I came and worked a Saturday morning, and there was someone was using my account, and they charged up $600. And they I think they went to like Food for Less. They went to a couple grocery stores. They went to Home Depot, and I think they got 3 purchases in, and then that 4th one, that's when they declined it. And the reason they declined it is because they made that purchase, or they were attempting to make that purchase, like, what was it? I think they were telling me it was like a couple of minutes after I made a purchase, because I was working, so we went to we were having lunch, and so I'm there using my card for lunch, my debit card, and so I make the transaction. Well, 40 miles away, someone else tries to make a transaction, and so that's that's the reason why they caught it. And so then they called me and said, hey, we think there's been some fraudulent activity on your card. And I'm like, okay. And so they told me the amount's like $600. The only problem is they take that $600 from you, right? And I don't know if they like credit it. I don't know how that all works, but I had money at the time, like in my account, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But you could see where it could be a big deal if they take $600 out of your account, and they have to do their little investigation first. So they didn't they didn't put that money back in my account. They did their little investigation, and then they put it in after. But you could see, like, if you have bills out that need to be paid and they take all that money, and now, like, mine was $600. What if it was everything that I had in my bank account, right? So that can be very problematic. So anyway, anytime that card ever leaves if like, like, you'll go to Denny's or Norm's, or I don't, these little restaurants where you walk up and they're right in front of you and they're doing the transaction right in front of you. That's fine to use your debit card. But anytime that card leaves your site, you should always use your credit card. And for me now, I always use my credit card for everything now. That's just the way I do business. But just something to think about. Like, if you guys are already into credit cards and stuff like that, then you probably already know, and you probably use your credit card for most things so you can get the points. But if you don't use your debit card a lot, anytime it leaves your site, that card should never go somewhere where you can't see it. And then gas stations too. You just be careful when you're at gas stations. Just make sure you watch you should always check the little slider thing at the pump, just to make sure it's secure. Like, kind of move it around a little bit, because they can put a skimmer in there and just swipe all your information and get all your information. And then they'll even watch, like, you have someone sitting out there watching you make that swipe, and then see what you put in as far as your information, and then they have you. All right. Let's see. So I think we looked at pretty much everything on the card. I just wanted to kind of do a quick overview of it, and it's definitely a card that, if you do have a business, I would consider getting. Like, I would highly recommend getting. Me personally, it's on my radar now, so I'm probably going to end up just picking it up. I didn't realize you were getting 500 points back or $500 back for the card. So now that I do know that this is probably going to be a card that I just jump on just to get that bonus real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and go in the chat here. And if you guys are in here, just let me know you're here by saying hello. Also, please hit the like button at this point so we can get more people in here. They'll see that we're doing a live stream, and they'll come in and join the party. Okay. Any questions specifically for me? Just put at TEC, and then I'll know, and I'll try to answer those questions for you. And it's just gonna move on here and see what we have. And this is going to be kind of open to everybody. So if you have any questions about anything, travel credit cards, all that good stuff, we're just going to kind of sit and talk today. I don't really have like a specific topic to talk about. So we'll just kind of do a Q&A. Okay, this is Nate. All right, Nate. Let's see. Oh, okay, so this is Alan. So Alan, how do you like that card? That Chase card, the Ink Business Cash, the card that I just did. And do you have any other business cards, or is this the only one that you have? Okay, let's see. I posted about the Priority Pass restaurant in the Facebook group. Oh, you did? Okay. You know what's funny? It just dawned upon me. I was gonna show the Facebook group yesterday because I wanted to show the show Lionel's experience, and I totally forgot about it. It wasn't yesterday. It was actually the day before yesterday. So I will pull that up. And if I don't, remind me. Don't let me leave without pulling that up. I don't know why I didn't do that yesterday. But speaking of the Facebook group, you guys need to jump in this Facebook group. It's a real good place for you guys to kind of hang out and get information on travel credit cards, new things that are out there. And we also answer questions. You have questions about different things. We try our best to answer those questions for you. I try to get on there as much as I can now. I do have a lot of stuff going on. I obviously you guys can see with the YouTube and all that stuff. So I try to get on there, but we have a lot of people on there who are knowledgeable and can give you a lot of good information as well. So like I said, I try to get on there. I at least look at some of the questions. If I know the answer right away, I'll answer them. But yeah, I can't always promise that I'm going to be on there just all the time. Let's see. Let me pull up the link here. Okay. While that is loading. Okay, audio's better. Okay, thanks, David. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still working. It's an ongoing problem, but not really a problem. Just like fine tuning it, and then you get it right one day, and then the next day it's garbage. So I can't get it fluid. Like just have it set up perfect and not have to worry about it. There's always these little things that go on or happen. Okay. Let's see. And then David, I will open up that experience, the lounge, or not the lounge, but your restaurant experience, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well as soon as I can get this Facebook group open. All right, we got somebody that asked to join, so let me go ahead and see if I can get over there quick enough to do it. All right. HD Chillin', what's going on, buddy? Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. So this is Hardy. He's in our WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp travel group, and it's a great place to go. This is Ace Live is the one who runs it, and he has a YouTube channel as well. You should check out his channel. He's got a lot of good stuff. Right now he's in Mexico. He's pretty much just traveling all over I mean, he's got the job right now because, you know, I still have to work a 9 to 5, and I do travel when I can, and I try to get out at least every 3 months. But this dude is just traveling. That's all he's doing. So he went to Colombia. He was in Colombia for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And I met up with him in Colombia. And then now he's moved on to Mexico, and he's in Mexico. He's been there for, I think about a month in Mexico. And then he's going to be going off to somewhere else. He hasn't told us yet, but it's interesting. It's fun because, like I said, one of the great things about having a WhatsApp group, like a travel group, and a Facebook group, like travel, is there's always someone somewhere. There's always someone traveling. And so because of that, I feel like I'm traveling because I'm watching them. And like, especially if you have a YouTube channel, you can kind of watch them and see the different things that they put out there. So yeah, and I'll put a link to This Is Ace Live. But anyway, if you guys are interested in the WhatsApp group, jump on his channel and subscribe to his channel, the first thing, and then he'll have information usually in his description of his later videos, the WhatsApp group, and you guys will get information on how to sign up or get into that. Now it is for men right now. It's kind of, there's one for men. He's gonna put out one for women. We kind of, the way it started, it didn't start as like a men's group, but it started, and the majority of the people who watch his videos are men, and so we were all like men in the group when we first started, and so just we wanted to kind of keep. We wanted to keep it like that. It just allows men to kind of express themselves when it comes to frustrations and stuff like that. So that's the way it is right now. But he is going to create like a group for everyone as well. This is a group that, and I don't know, he might at some point, and I know at some point he's going to cut it off. But this is a group that kind of started out for Carnaval when we went to Carnaval in Barranquilla, and now it's you have guys that are just, we've been there for a long time in the group, and so he wants to kind of cut it off. You don't want to have too many people in the group, because then it just gets too watered down. Like a lot of these people I know personally, like I've met, like I've traveled, gone, when I went to Carnaval, I've met a lot of these guys in the group. So at some point he's going to cut that group off, and then he will have another group that's just everyone. But they're great places to go. Groups are really a good place to go if you are interested in travel. So oh man, this mouse is driving me nuts. Okay. Give me 1 second so I can pull up all this info. Maybe I should move this over just a little bit. There we go. All right. Now's a good time. If you guys are in the room, just hit the like button just so we can get more people in here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Every week we do live streams, as well as I put out videos. And as soon as I'm done here with this live stream, I'm gonna shoot a few more videos, and then we'll be putting out videos all next week. So I try to keep it busy, keep everything going, just to keep people interested and engaged. When it comes to, I put out a video maybe 2 days ago, and it got a really good response. And it wasn't about like doing credit card reviews or anything. I was just talking about a credit card, like my favorite credit card, and it got a lot of response. And this is what I like, just so you guys know. I'm not necessarily looking for the views. I'm looking more for the feedback or the comments. So I read every comment, and I like that. I like putting out a video that will get people talking. Oh, well, you know what? This is my favorite card, and this is why. And this is my favorite card, and this is why. Oh, I agree with you. This is a great card. Or I disagree with you. This isn't a good card, and this is a better card. That kind of stuff. So I like the back and forth. That's one of the reasons why I like doing live streams, because you get the back and forth. It's not just one way. It's not just me putting out a video, you watching the video, and then not getting any feedback from that. So just so you know, that's kind of that's what I like. So videos like that get a lot of feedback, those are the videos that I like to put out. So I'll be putting out some more. I'm gonna put out my favorite card when it comes to hotels, and then my favorite card when it comes to airlines. You guys probably already know just by the way that I talk about different things. But yeah, I think it's important to get that feedback and the conversation. I like that stuff. Okay, so this is Ace Live. This is his channel. So check him out. Like I said, right now he's in Cancun, Mexico, and he's having a good time out there. And like I said, I love the fact that we have a lot of people that have YouTube channels and Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups that travel, because you can just watch, you can live vicariously through them, and I like that. Okay, so let's do that. Then we're going to throw in the Facebook group so you guys can check that out as well. If you guys are interested in joining the Facebook group. And this Facebook group is our Facebook group here. So as soon as I pull it up, we talk about everything there. I mean, it's a good place to go. And I'm going to open it up right now. So I'll put the link in. I'm going to open it up right now, and we'll check out Lionel, because Lionel had some not videos, but some, I think he did shoot a few videos, but he took some pictures and stuff of his flight, and man, first class, whew, it was pretty impressive what was going on there with him, and he was using points pretty much to do the whole thing, which is great, and that's what we want. That's for me. I want that luxury travel. That's why I want points. I can pay, just like I'll be going back to Colombia in August. I look to see if I can get anything as far as my points. If my points are going to go far with that, they're not. 50,000 points, economy seat, one way. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Now I know they're short on seats because when I booked my last flight to Colombia, it was the same exact. Well, it wasn't the same exact locations, but similar locations. And it was 20,000. So I know they go for 20,000. And if I go on a different date, I know it's 20,000 for an economy seat. But now it's 50,000, and it's 50,000 because they're low on seats. There happens to be 2 events that are going on that I want to go to, and so that's probably why the seats are limited. So situations like that, I don't mind paying $600. The ticket's like $600. So I don't mind paying $600 and save that 50,000 points because I know that 50,000 points can easily get me a nice trip somewhere at the right time, So, all right. So the next thing is Facebook group. I'll post that. I'm sorry I'm giving you guys all these plugs or putting all this stuff out here, but it didn't come out. I just want you guys to have all the information. So if you do want to join the Facebook group, it'll be there, and then we'll take a look at some of the pictures here in the Facebook group, so you guys can get like a sneak peek of what's going on in there. Let's see, is it opening up here? Okay, yeah, it looks like it did. All right, and then we'll get back to the chat. And actually, let me do the chat first because there's a lot of stuff going on in here, and I want to make sure I keep it up to date. What I don't like is when someone asks a question and then I answer it 20 minutes later. That's not acceptable. So let's go through this real quick. Let's see. Jessica called the Chase reconsideration line and about my set. Okay, and was told it is still in process. Another department handles the approvals. Applied for the reserve. Okay, all right, Jessica. And that was before that was this is the same situation. I think you mentioned it 2 days ago. So you did call for the reconsider. That's weird. Usually they tell me. Yeah, in my experience, the two times that I've called the line, they were able to kind of help me right there, and they were the one. That reconsideration line was the one that handles the approvals or the denials. So I would, Jessica, if I were you, I mean. You could call back at a later date if you really wanted to, or you could just let it fly and see what happens. Just have them send you a letter. I guess I'm assuming they're saying that they're going to send you a letter. And we did talk, Jessica. I don't know if you were in the room last time, but we did talk, or if you were in the room at the time on our last stream, just about like approval. What Chase likes to see is someone having a credit card that has 10,000 limit already. Because in order to get a Chase Sapphire Reserve, you have to have that $10,000 limit. So just something to think about in the future. If, hopefully you get the card and there's no issues, but in the future, if there is an issue, then maybe that's something to think about. Get another card that has a $10,000 limit and then go back and try to get that reserve. Okay. What's going on, David? Hope you're doing well. What's going on, Javier? I don't know if that was for me or for the other David, but I'll say what's up anyway. All right, Lionel, what's going on, buddy? And I apologize. I just realized that I didn't even show those pictures that you had on your trip from the Facebook group. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right after I look at this stuff here. You people need to come to Ohio to visit the roller coaster capital. Capital Cedar Point. Okay. Roller coaster. I don't do roller coasters though, Jeremy. I did them when I was a kid. Nah, I don't need to do them anymore. Yeah, I'm over all that. Let's see. What's so special about Cedar Point? Okay. Let's see. What's a good hotel card to get if you are in the Chase ecosystem? I know David likes Hyatt, but their footprint is not as large. So that's Javier asking that. Yeah, I like Hyatt. But I mean, you can get Marriott. You can go pretty much any hotel besides with the exception of Hilton, because you have IHG, you have Marriott, you have Hyatt. Um, those are three. Yeah, I think those are the three. But that's it. Like right, then you have Hilton. Those are the four major hotel chains. So you pretty much have everything but Hilton. And the reason I realize Hyatt's footprint is very small, but I never have a problem when it comes to larger cities. Larger cities in the U.S., no problem at all. Larger cities in other countries, I'm generally okay. So that's kind of been my routine. So I would use Hyatt, but if I don't have a Hyatt property, like for instance, when I was in Colombia, when I was in Barranquilla, there's no Hyatt there. So I went to Airbnb, stayed at Airbnb. I went to Medellin, Colombia, no Hyatt there, stayed at Airbnb. And I'm really liking staying at Airbnbs now. It's kind of, I'm not staying at Hyatt properties the way that I used to. Let's just put it that way. Because I really like the fact of having my own space, like my own little apartment. And I'll do my little research. I'll make sure I'm in the right area as far as where everything is pretty much within walking distance. But yeah, Airbnb has got me sold. I was very skeptical, and if you've never stayed in an Airbnb before, uh, it's one of those deals where it is a little strange because you're staying in someone else's place. What if they have the extra key and they come in and or they have someone come in and steal all your stuff? And there's all these different things that were going on in my head, but one of the things that I noticed when you go on Airbnb, they have like the super hosts. So you have hosts that have been doing this for years and years, and those are the trusted ones, and those are probably the better one, the better way to go, right? Because I mean, if you really think about it, uh, when you have an Airbnb, you don't have a maid coming in your room. You don't have, realistically, less people have access to your room. Whereas if you're at a hotel, more people do have access to your room. Now, there's cameras and there's a lot of different things there. One of the things that I like when it comes to Colombia, when I stay at Airbnbs in Colombia, a lot of the buildings have security at the bottom. Now they could be in on it. I get all that, but in my experience, I've been fine staying at Airbnbs, um, and so I recommend them now. Whereas before, yeah, I was a little apprehensive, a little nervous about it. And then how do I meet the person to get the key and all that good stuff? Well, like I said, most of them have security at the front, and they already have that all set up. So even the last place that I stayed in Medellin, I was in Laureles, which when I go back, I'll probably stay. I'll probably stay at the same one if I can. And it was, I mean, we're talking really, really affordable. And I did a video. If you guys check out my videos, Medellin apartment. Um, and I did a video, like a walkthrough, so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. But it was nice. I mean, it had all the amenities that you would need: washer, dryer, bathroom, separate bedroom, separate little area to sit. They also had, it was on the 12th floor, so I had a beautiful view of the city. I mean, it was a great place. Now, when I went in there, you have security there. They're the ones that give you the key. If you want to have like guests over and stuff like that, they take their ID, so they have all that information. So let's say you meet someone there. You meet a woman there, and you go out, you go to a restaurant, you go to dinner, whatever, and then you guys want to come back up and relax. Well, they get their ID, and so they'll have their ID. So I'm just saying, let's say someone is trying to scam you, and they say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get in the room, and then we're gonna start. The person comes in your room and steals all your stuff or whatever. You fall asleep and you wake up and all your stuff is gone. Well, they do have their ID. Granted, hopefully the ID is legitimate, which I'm sure they're checking for that, like security's checking to see if it's legit. So all in all, Airbnbs are, you should consider those when you travel. You can save a lot of money. And I was paying like $29 a night to stay there. If it was a hotel, I would pay at least $60 to $70 a night. For like, when I say a hotel, I mean like a brand hotel. You have a lot of little hotels that they have there. I wouldn't recommend doing that. And I'm talking Colombia mainly, but little hotels that are just not. You're better off. You're better off spending a little extra cash, because they'll have some that are really, they're sketchy basically, and they're $20 a night, $30 a night. But I want something that's a little more established. Okay. So, and I'm sorry, I get on these tangents. So as far as that ecosystem, hopefully I answered your question. You got Marriott and you have IHG. Those are good properties. The only problem is you have to put a lot of points up. You have to put a lot of points up, and it really hurts me when I have my chase points to know that I'm like, IHG is a good example. IHG is less than a cent a point, right? Value. So if I want to stay a night, I have to spend like 25,000 points or what have you. Transfer that over to IHG to stay one night at the property when I know that 25,000 points can get me a round trip ticket anywhere in the U.S. So do I really want to spend 25,000 points for that? I just pay cash or not stay at that hotel, stay somewhere else. The reason I like Hyatt, the main reason I like Hyatt, Category 1 hotels, Category 2 hotels, you're paying 5,000 or what is it, 6,000 or 8,000, something like that, to stay one night at a Hyatt. So it's well worth it. Really worth it. And then you can do the points plus cash too, which is another whole option there. So I can do put some cash up and then use some points and then stay there at a discount. And it's probably what I'm staying an extra day in Hawaii because I couldn't get a flight. I couldn't book a flight out with points on the day that I wanted to fly back. So I'll stay an extra day. It's Hawaii, right? But I need a hotel. And so I'm going to stay at the Hyatt. Well, I haven't booked it yet, but I need to book a room at the Hyatt, and that's in Kauai. The only problem is it's like 25,000 points because it's it's one of their nicer properties. And so I'm thinking maybe points plus cash, but points plus cash, I'm still paying $290 cash plus points, 12,000 points, something like that, 12,500 or something. But every night, to book it cash, it's like $600 a night. So I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do. I might even just do like a cheaper property. It's only for one night, right? I'm not going to get that much out of one night. So, okay, let's move on down here. Javier, Hilton Aspire or Bonvoy Brilliant, yeah. And were you asking for a card? Yeah, you were asking for a card. So that's the only thing. With the Hilton, they're not in that Chase ecosystem. So I think he wanted to know about Chase ecosystem. So let's go ahead and move on down. Okay, I earned 250,000 Hilton points since October. Yeah, and you can earn fast with the Marriott cards. That's true. Actually, no, he says Hilton and Marriott. Okay. Both those cards you can earn fat because their earn possibility is really good with those cards. But you do need more points. Just be aware you need more points in order to stay. So the value, you get all those points, but you still need to do something with that. Or like we talked about the last discussion, 75,000 points is good enough for 6 nights. Well, you can get 6 nights for 5,000 points with a Hyatt. So it just kind of gives you perspective, like 30,000 points as opposed to 75,000 points for the same amount of nights and pretty much the same status of a hotel. Okay. I've heard Hyatt was the best hotel to transfer Chase points over to. Yes. As far as value, yes. As far as getting your money's worth, they're the best. But they do have a relatively small footprint. Okay. Hi, Lionel. All right, let's move on. Thanks, David. I prefer high because the high redemption, but I do have value free breakfast. Okay, yeah. And so Javier, so you're saying that you have free breakfast at Hilton? Do you have like status, or did you say you had status? I can value free breakfast. So, oh, you value free breakfast. Yeah, but Javier, it depends on where you're staying now. I personally, I try not to stay at the Hyatt Regency or the Park Hyatts and all that. I used to have that globalist status. I don't have it anymore. I have explorer status. So at this point, I look for the Hyatt Place or the Hyatt House. The Hyatt House is like the more long term living, so they'll have like the little kitchen and all that good stuff. Really spacious. You have a lot of space in there. And then they have the Hyatt Place. Both of those properties they have breakfast, and it's a decent spread. Okay, it's not you're not gonna get it's not like a buffet style. I mean, it is a buffet style, but it's not like a real big buffet style where there's a variety of different things there. But it's enough. And breakfast, I don't eat a lot for breakfast, but I like to eat breakfast when I travel because it kind of sets me up for the day. I can go down, eat breakfast, go back upstairs, take a shower, get all ready, and then go, and then be out until uh, lunchtime or even after lunch, and then eat. Usually, I only eat like twice when I'm traveling. For the most part, I might snack a little bit at lunch and then eat dinner, but it kind of sets you up as opposed to having to find a place to go or go down to the restaurant and pay every day. It just works out. But yeah, that's one thing. So if you don't know, yeah, Hyatt will not give you a free breakfast, but with their Hyatt Regency and above. But Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, yes, you can get free breakfast. It comes with the booking. Okay, Perry, what's going on? I never use my personal debit card trip instead. I use a Charles Schwab. You know what? I gotta check my mail because I know that card's. I applied for that card last week. Let me read the rest of his question and I'll talk a little bit more. Before my trip, write myself a check, a mobile deposit. Yeah, okay. So, and that's good. Yes, do not use your debit card. When I travel, I do use my debit card like once or twice, and that's to get the local currency, and I'm paying fees for that. And so I finally got the Charles Schwab card, and I know it's in the mail now. I know I just haven't checked it, but the the thing is, I I wanted to get that because you pay the fees up front, but then they reimburse you for your fees. So that's what I wanted. So now I can have another little bank where I can put money in. So when I travel out of the country, I can go to the bank and get out, 300. Usually I only get like $300. It obviously depends on where you're traveling to, but most of the places, if it's affordable, like when I go to Colombia, $300 goes a long way in Colombia. So I get $300 out, and then I use my credit card for all of my purchases where I can use a credit card, and then I use the cash for things that I have to use cash for. So that's going to be a real good addition to my whole setup, because if you use your debit card in other countries, even not even just other countries, just other banks, you're going to have to pay those fees. For your other countries, you pay additional fees. So it's great to have a card now that I don't have to pay fees on. Okay. Hey, David, it's good being home, except I'm still wiped out. Yeah, that jet lag that will mess you up for sure. What's up, Rich? How you doing? Let's see. What do you think about the new Marriott Airbnb? You know what? They haven't, to my knowledge, I haven't seen anything else. I heard that they announced it, like they're going to be like kind of like competing with Airbnb, with their own kind of Marriott style Airbnb. But I'd be interested. I mean, I'm definitely interested in that because that's something. Like I said, the big plus of Airbnbs, most of them have the washer dryer, and I just love that. And then you have your own space. and you kind of come and go as you please. And you can do it with hotels too, but it just, hotels are more, you don't feel like you're, I like to go places and feel like I'm, in with the community, right? Like with the locals. And there's certain places where you can go and stay at Airbnb and you're with the locals. So I like that. I like that feeling. Okay. Does anyone know if it's okay to use your SS number as a sole proprietor? Yes, it is. To apply for the Chase Inc. business card. In Colorado, I know some. Oh, in Colorado, I don't know. I'm saying yes, and now I'm saying I don't know. Let me just put it this way: when I applied, and I'm in California, but when I applied online, it has the information there. Sole proprietor. You can put your social security number, so that's all outlined there. I don't know Colorado's rules if they have rules against that. Maybe they do, but to my knowledge, like you should be okay. And you put it, you sole proprietor, you tell them what type of work that you do, and then apply that way. If you're going to get a card, I kind of jumped ahead. Actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, I went backwards. So I got like the Chase Sapphire or Chase Inc. Business Plus card first, and that's their higher tier card, the $95 annual fee card. Then I went back, and then I got the Chase Business Unlimited card, and now I'll get that Chase Cash card. Okay. And so I guess I'm saying that because it's harder to get the one that I got first as opposed to the other two. So if I were you and you're a little, I don't know if it's going to work, maybe try the cashback card or the Chase Inc. Unlimited card first. And both great cards, and they all offer like 50,000 bonus points on a sign up. So that's great. Okay. David, how was Priority Steakhouse? Okay. Yeah, David said he talked about it in the group. Let's see. It's great. I enjoyed it. They had free nachos and burger. Steak before, sadly. Okay. Sadly, they are more than $28 credit. You guys have to try. Fat Shack sandwiches in Colorado. Lots of locations. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I guess they're only in Colorado. Maybe they'll move to California sometime. I don't really know about going to Colorado. Like maybe at the airport on a stopover or a layover, but I don't really have a reason to go there. Unfortunately. Let's see. I saw if you go to breakfast, you can get steak and eggs under $28. Wow. Nathan, are accepted. Okay, Nathan, thanks for joining the group. Thank you for joining the Facebook group. Casey, what's going on? I had a situation where I'm warned on my relatives that it wasn't worth to fly Spirit. Fly home. Cancel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to bash Spirit, but yeah, they do have some issues. All airlines do, where they cancel flights. So yeah, Casey was just saying that he warned his family about flying on Spirit. Yeah, they all airlines, they have their times where they cancel flights and stuff like that. I had a buddy, or still have a buddy, that he swore up and down he was flying on Spirit, and he's cheap, right? And I used to tell him, he's changed now, like he's still cheap, but he doesn't fly on Spirit anymore. But I used to tell him, cheap it can be expensive, being cheap. So you want to do it right the first time. And so he was flying on Spirit, and we went to Colombia a couple of times, and then we went to Aruba. Our last trip was to Aruba, and we flew back the same time, but I flew on a different flight, and at a different time. Actually, I think my flight, I had a layover, so I had a longer layover than him. So I flew somewhere, I had a layover. He was doing a quicker route, so he would have gotten home before me. And so I don't know what's going on on the ground, or I don't know what's going on with him because I'm in my plane, he's in his plane. But I get home, and he texts me a couple of times, and I look at the text, and he's all pissed off because he's stuck in, I don't know where he was stuck. I think he was stuck in L.A. I think he flew him to L.A. He lives in Arizona, so they flew him to L.A. and he got stuck in L.A. So he had to get a hotel in L.A. I think they put him up in a hotel, but they put him up at like a Radisson or something like that. So he goes to check in the Radisson. And it's not just him; it's everyone, a lot of other people from the plane. And then they have a power outage there, and so now he's mad, and he's like streaming this live on Facebook. How frustrated he is with Spirit, and this is the last time, and this and that and this, and I'm laughing. I admit, I'm laughing myself. I'm laughing because I'm like, oh yeah, well, that sucks, man. Well, maybe you'll get on that plane tomorrow. But all airlines have their issues with stuff like that. But it was just funny, and it was only, and I used to, like I said, I tell him, hey, cheap is it can be expensive. So now he has, even though he was able to stay at the hotel, that's okay. But he was working the next day, so now he had to try to figure that out. Is he going to work, like get there early and work a half day or what have you? So it can cost you. All right. Let's see. I know you have been a week. Uh-oh. Window just dropped. Okay. I lost my place. Let's see. Boston, open mornings. Okay, if you guys have questions specifically for me, just make sure you put TEC so I can see the question. Because I'm going to kind of skim through these a little quicker because I want to get down to the bottom so we can look at the Facebook stuff, Facebook group stuff. Using Amex Gold Dining credit month. I went to Shake Shack first time. I've never been to Shake Shack. And this is Rolo saying he went to Shake Shack for the first time. Only paid $1.79 because he had his credit, so that's cool. Javi Ramirez been accepted to the group. Javi, thank you for joining the group, buddy. Thank you for joining the group. Let's see. What did you order? Shake Shack. So good. Okay, we'll skip through. Okay, Jessica. Yeah, I have a credit card that exceeds the 10,000 now. A good credit. Closed at 800. Should I go to the branch? I don't know. I mean, yeah, if your credit. Well, I mean, and they probably would have told you if you had too many inquiries, like you had too many open accounts. They probably would have told you at reconsideration. But if your credit score is close to 800, you already have 10,000. Going to the branch to inquire, that wouldn't be a bad deal. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, yeah, hopefully that works out. I would maybe call back, just call the reconsideration line again, and just because you're gonna get a different person, so call again and just say, hey, just tell them the same or ask them the same thing. And I always put it like, I just applied and I was just wondering, is there any more information? I got, it said pending. And then if they say, oh, let's take a look, then you go with that. But if they say, well, we'll be mailing something out to you or what have you, then I would be more like, okay, well, when is that happening? Kind of give them more of a like urgency, I guess. Maybe you're going on a trip soon and you really wanted to use the card and all that kind of stuff. That might get them rolling more, because like I said, when I call, they always gave me an answer, yes or no. Actually, yes. I haven't gotten a no yet, knock on wood, but they've always given me an answer when I called. They were the person that was doing like the whole approving and denying. So that's the whole reason for reconsideration, right? So I don't know. Maybe if you just called Chase, there is like, if you go on Google, they'll give you like numbers, because there was a specific number. I actually looked at one of the blogs. It was on one of the blogs. Let's see. Because you want to make sure you call the right number. That could have been the issue too. Reconsideration line. And I did look at one of there was I can't remember what blog it was, but that's where I picked up the number. Yeah, let's see. I don't know if this is the article that I was looking at. Actually, it couldn't have been because this was before February. Woo-hoo. Okay, so I don't know what article you looked at. I don't know what number you called, but I will post this link in the description. So, Jessica, if you want, you can read the article and then maybe call this line. If it's a different number, then maybe that'll help you as well. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't see why they wouldn't want to give you the card, especially if you already have cards over 10,000. The only thing that I'm saying, like, if you have too many accounts open, maybe that's a reason. But that's something that I would think that they would have just told you, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know all the different factors that they look at, but yeah. And if you have chase cards already, I don't know if you have chase cards already. Okay. All right, we'll move on past what we're eating. Refills. What's going on, Michael? How you doing? And let's move forward. Michael is in Austin, at the Marriott in Austin. Cool. Casey, I find Airbnbs for me are mostly as expensive as hotels when I'm in the cities. And this is the way I look at it. And it depends on what cities you are. Airbnbs they're gonna try to be a little bit competitive with the hotels, so they'll drop the price a little bit lower. But depending, like, I like to do affordable travel. I like going to South America. I like going to Central America because you can get some really good deals when it comes to Airbnbs. I mean, they're ridiculously cheap and they're nice, most of them. So yeah, if you're going to go stay in New York City or you're going to stay in some larger cities in the U.S., you're probably going to be paying premium top dollar for those. The cleaning fees can be pretty ridiculous. Yeah, that's true. They can be. But like I said, my practice in the past has been Hyatt properties whenever possible. So if I'm in a big city, yeah, I'll do Hyatt property, like mainly in the U.S. Now, when I'm in other countries and stuff like that, that's kind of the way I've been going about it. And I've had some pretty good experiences. But yeah, they do have the cleaning fees, and they don't come clean your room until you're gone. So yeah, you do have to pay that. Okay, let's move on here. I'm gonna try to get through these. Okay. So Hardy has a question. Let's see. Wait, the 4 nights in Hawaii for a much needed vacation. Okay. Hardy's got a wait. There's Endeavor, Renaissance, Marriott, Sheraton, Airstrip. Okay. Any advice on taxis in Colombia, especially airport? Okay, so when it comes to taxis in Colombia, taxis are very, very reasonable. I don't even do Uber when I'm out there. Uber is not legal, but people take Ubers all the time in Colombia. But you just need to kind of be careful when you're in an Uber. And so I just take taxis because pretty much like Medellin, I'll give Medellin as a good example. Medellin, when you fly into the airport, Medellin or going into El Poblado or Laureles, the main area of Medellin, it's going to take you probably about 25 to 30 minutes because you have to go into the valley. So you have to drive down in there, and that taxi ride is about 22, could be up to $25. That's the most that you'll ever pay for a taxi. Well, I shouldn't say ever, but you're not going to pay more than that if you're just riding around the city. If you're riding around the city, you're paying like $3, $4. You shouldn't pay more than $5 to go around the city, and that's like 15, 20 minutes away once you get to the city. So and you can't catch an Uber from the airport because they've really clamped down on that. You can't get an Uber from the airport unless you walk off the airport and you're somewhere else. So usually you have to get a taxi or a service like a airport service, or you have something set up prior to getting there. And the last time that I went, I had something set up. I already have a driver that he wasn't able to actually pick me up, but he sent one of his friends to come pick me up, which was fine. So, and they're professional drivers. They're not just like a friend. There's actually professional drivers that will come pick you up too if you want to set that up ahead of time. But yeah, they're pretty reasonable. Cartagena, we didn't pay very much. Cartagena's not that far. The airport's not that far from Boca Grande, the area that we stayed in. So I offhand, maybe it was $10. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it's really not that expensive. One thing that you want to watch out though for in Colombia, or one thing you should know about Colombia, if it's a legitimate taxi, they're gonna have a white license plate. If it's not a legitimate taxi, you're gonna have a yellow license plate. That's a personal license plate. So what will happen? I know in Cartagena this happens a lot. It happened to us the first time that we were there, and we were like, nah, that's all right. We went and got another cab. But you'll have, as soon as you walk out of the airport, you're going to have all these guys out there just standing around, taxi, taxi, taxi. And so we picked the guy, like he came up to us, and so we were going to take a taxi with him. So instead of him like taking us to the taxi, which the street that's right there, that goes through the airport, we walked across, over another street, and he's got a car over there, and he's not a taxi driver. He's just, he has his own personal vehicle. He's using it as a taxi. So be careful with that. So make sure you see that white license plate, then you'll know that's a transportation vehicle. It might not look like a taxi. Some of the vehicles don't even look like taxis. It might just be a white truck, or it could be just a random looking car, but they are a taxi service, or they have transportation. They're official transportation vehicles if they have the white license plate. So just look for that. All right. And then Uber too. when you catch Ubers in Colombia, and I have not had this experience, but this is what people tell me, and it does make a lot of sense. But the Uber drivers will have you sit in the front seat, and some of them will come up to you like they're your buddy. You've never seen them before, but that's the whole thing. Like, they are not supposed to be driving. So they really, and they don't have obviously they don't have an Uber sticker in the window or anything like that. So you just need to be careful, because they can get fined a lot of money, as well as you can get in trouble for doing something that's not legal. Now, I say that, but plenty of people take Ubers in Colombia. Plenty of people. The only reason it's not legal is because it's not regulated at this point. So once they start regulating it, then it'll be legal. But because it's not regulated, you can get in trouble. And I believe the drivers can lose their license too. So it's a big deal. Okay. Let's see. Cajun food. All right. So we're talking about food here. Let's just move down. Hilton, Marriott, IHG are really good transfer partners. They are better for free nights. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and Michael's just saying that Hilton, Marriott, and IHG are really a good transfer partner. I don't know if you're saying they are better for free, or really aren't, or really are. I don't know exactly what you're saying, Michael, but I'll just add my 2 cents. Transferring your points from Chase, I don't think is a good idea unless you're transferring it to Hyatt. As far as value, you're going to get more value. Just get the card. If you really want to stay at Hilton properties, or you can't transfer to Hilton, but if you want to stay at a Hilton property, get the Hilton card. If you want to stay at Marriott properties, get the Marriott card, and work it that way. Maybe top off your card points with Ultimate Reward points, but don't transfer all your points over there, especially IHG. That's the worst value, and those points can go so much further other places. And for me, I'm not big on hotels. Unless I'm taking a girlfriend, I'm not big on hotels. I just need a bed that's comfortable, that's relatively comfortable, a place to shower, and that's it. That's all I need. So I'm not really picky when it comes to that. Paisa Gringo, what's going on, man? How you doing, Jason? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Let's see, David. That's awesome. I have 3 nights in Austin. Okay, so you guys are talking about that. Michael. All right. All right. Nika, when I was in Colombia, I went to exchange and got cash using my credit card. Ooh, yeah, I don't do that though. I usually use my debit card, but I needed to make a minimum spend. Okay, I got you. All right, yeah, I try to stay away from doing that cash advance stuff. Um, yeah, yeah, and I mean, you have to, or you have to bring cash, right? So you want to have local currency, obviously, but use your credit card as much as possible. Let's see. Marriott Airbnb went live today. Oh, it went live today. Okay. You want to check it out on the stream. Yeah. You know what? Is that the link that you put down there? Yeah. We'll take a look at that. We're gonna go to the Facebook group first, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at the link. Actually, let me show the link so everybody else can look at it while we're going through these if they want to. Oh, is that gonna open? I don't know if that opened for you guys. Yeah. Okay, let's move up a little bit here. And I don't know if I'll be able to open that link up the way it is. Let's see. I can't, yeah, I just can't click on it because it will mess up my whole little setup here. But that's cool that they went live. That's something that I'll be looking at. Let's see what they have available and how it works. Okay, I got an email from Marriott. Okay, cool. So Nika said she got an email about it. And competition is good. Competition drives prices down. So I'm interested to see what they're doing. And maybe at some point Airbnb gets bought out, or I don't know, like, how is this all going to work? Let's see. And let's see, how do you make sure Airbnbs are guest friendly? Jay Hill is asking about guest friendly. Well, I mean, they have information on there. So, and he's asking about this because certain places, Colombia is pretty common where they're not guest friendly, right? You can't bring guests over, and so you just need to be aware of that. Airbnbs, you just need to you can talk back and forth with them, so you can ask them the questions. So ask them if they're guest friendly, but yeah, some places they will not allow you to bring guests, and if they do, then it's the same procedure where they check your ID and all that good stuff, and it's for security reasons. I mean that's the bottom line, and they want to know who's in, which makes sense. And even at a regular hotel, they should do the same thing. They're a little more lax, but think of it this way: you go in, you have someone in a hotel in your hotel room. They don't know that person's in your hotel room. There's a fire. Everyone's evacuated. They have a list of all the people who are supposed to be at the hotel, but this person is not going to be on that list. So it is kind of good to know that information, and like I said, it avoids theft. I mean, it can't avoid theft because they have that information already. So yeah, with Airbnbs, you need to ask them. They'll let you know. As a matter of fact, when we stayed in, me and my buddy stayed in El Poblado, in Medellin, and it wasn't listed, and so my buddy's the one that booked that Airbnb, so he asked them directly, and they told him, yeah, it's fine. And that setup there was no security or anything like that. That was just, we had our own little space. Let's move down. Okay. But I will tell you, most of the hotels, I'll say in Colombia, Medellin area mainly, because that's where Medellin, Cartagena. Yeah, Cartagena for sure, because we tried to sneak people up there and it didn't work. But yeah, most hotels they're not guest friendly. Like it costs money to have like people come up to your room. And we met a couple of flight attendants from Spirit, and I've told this story before, but I'll just tell it real quick. We met 2 flight attendants from Spirit, and we're all like hanging out. We hung out the whole day, and then they came back, and we were right on the beach. And they were staying in a hostel behind the walled city, so a little ways away, not like 5 minutes away. So they came down to hang out with us at the beach, and we were like, hey, we have a nice pool. We should go up and go to the pool. And so we tried to do that, and they caught us, and it was kind of funny. But I was the diversion, so I went and tried to like get the people behind the counter, like get their attention, the front desk, ask a question, right? And I was teasing them the whole time. Like I would always come down and like try my Spanish and all this stuff, which is really, really bad. It was actually really bad at that time. It's getting a little bit better, but anyway. So I'm trying to be the distraction, and we had the girls try to walk up with my other friends, and yeah, it didn't work. They caught us. It's like, oops, what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh. So but they were still, they caught us, but they said, okay, they can be up here, and they were going to let them be up there for 2 hours until like 6 p.m. and then they had to come back down. So most hotels, Colombia, most hotels they're not gonna be. You're not allowed to bring guests, or you're allowed to bring guests, but you have to pay for those guests to go up there. Okay. My wife received a letter from Chase, sent the business documents, and called to confirm the information. Any tips for calling in? So let's see. Wife received a letter from Chase to send in business documents or call to confirm information. Yeah, I would just call. As far as the tips, this is Adami asking this, or Adam. I'm sorry, I see the E at the end of Adami. Adam. So Adam's asking this. So if they say just to confirm information, I would just call in and basically say I got this letter. It's stating that I needed to provide you more information. And they're going to ask you the questions that you need to provide. Usually it's how much money does the business bring in every year? How long have you been in business? They ask questions like that. That's the main thing. So I would just be honest. Don't lie. Be honest. They can still approve you for lower limits like 5,000 or what have you. So yeah. They want to give you guys credit cards. I mean, they want to give you credit cards. That's the main thing. If you have good credit, you're a sole proprietor, you have a business, it's been going on for a couple of years or what have you, and you make a little bit of money on the side, and they know it's like, I make sure they know this is a part-time business. This is not like a full-time business. I have a full-time job. They take the fact that you have a full-time job into consideration, how much you make in your full-time job as well, if you're a sole proprietor. So yeah, just be honest with them, and usually they'll throw credit your way. Okay, only the bistro. All right, let's move on down. Okay, you guys have a lot of questions here, which is good. So I wanna go into the Facebook stuff, and then look at the Marriott stuff too. If you guys are in here right now, please, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button so we can get more people in here. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And we're on here all the time, at least twice a week, doing live streams, and then I put out videos, travel credit card videos, and then I still, and I had somebody hit me up about this, and I felt a little bad, but I still have a lot of travel videos that I haven't put out yet that I'm still editing, and I just have to get them together. So I'm going to start working on some more of those so I can put out some more travel-related stuff. And then I'll be in Hawaii in a month, so when I go to Hawaii, I'm going to do live streams from there. I'll be there for 9 days. So I'll be with my family, my parents and my sister. So I'm going to have to kind of like break away and find time and stuff. But this is like we do a family trip every other year because my parents have a timeshare in Kauai. So it's been like a tradition for we've been doing this. This is our 4th trip. So we've been doing it for a while. And it's a good time. Just go and relax and all that. So I will kind of get away and do some live streams, as well as put out some videos just there. And I've been there so often now. I kind of know everything, not everything, but I know a lot of the land, or a lot of the areas and stuff. So I can do some pretty good videos. I haven't really put out a video that I can think of. Maybe 1 or 2 videos on Hawaii, specifically Kauai. Usually I do the video, I shoot video, but it's just for family. All right. David, do you charge to the room? Okay, so I think you guys are just talking about food and stuff like that at the rooms. Me personally, when I'm in a room, hotel room, I do charge to the room, and that's, I mean, it's obvious. But if you're using your card, like if I'm staying at Hyatt, I'll charge, and I'll use my Hyatt card to pay everything at the end. But yeah, I do that personally. When I was in Thailand, I was charging stuff to the room when I was there, and it wasn't actually Thailand. Food is pretty reasonable anyway, so it wasn't even that bad as far as it wasn't that expensive. Almost always eat at the hotel if I can get one with a restaurant. Yeah, and that's Michael saying he almost always eats at the hotel. It's funny, the some of the best food that I had, and I get people like feedback from people are like, "You're crazy." I went to Thailand. I didn't really like the food. Okay, but there are certain places that the food was pretty good. The hotel, at the Hyatt place, the food was pretty good. Um, and we went on like a elephant sanctuary tour, and the food there was excellent. It was excellent food. That was the best food that I had the whole time that I was there. All right, so let's go ahead. Double point promo right now. Okay. All right, I want to move through this stuff relatively quick because I see there. Okay, we're almost at the bottom here. All right, all right, all right. Vic, how you doing? He's asking about hostels. You know what? I posted a link, and I think you could go back up. Hopefully, this is Ace Live. His video. He's done a couple of videos about hostels, and I've never stayed in a hostel before, and I probably won't stay in a hostel. I'm just not. I'm not geared to. I'm over the sleeping in bunk beds and yeah. I'm not interested in doing that. But some people do it and they have a pretty good time. But this is Ace Live, his channel. He talks specifically about that hostels, and he shows you kind of around a hostel. This is in Mexico in Cancun. So actually the hostel he was in, it looks nice. But I just can't do the bunk bed. I can't sleep. Yeah, I just can't do that. I don't know. Uh, I won't say I can't do it. I just choose not to do that. I want to have my own space, and I know some hostels you can have your own little room. That if I were to do a hostel, that would be the way that I would go. But one of the great things about hostels that I'm seeing, I haven't experienced it for myself, but from what I see, there's a closer knit community when you stay at a hostel as opposed to staying at a hotel, because people are a little more open and more friendly and stuff at hostels. And they like to hang out with each other together and all that. When I was in Colombia, the two flight attendants, they were staying at a hostel, and they were like, they had that group. There was a group of them, and they were hanging out the whole time. So if you do travel solo, it's probably something to consider, because you have people there that you can kind of hang out with and stuff. Because a lot of solo travelers stay at hostels, but yeah, it's just not for me. Okay. Any places where you look forward to going to? You're always on the road. I don't know who that question was for, Michael. I think it's probably for David. Seattle. Okay. Uh, okay, Wade, what's going on? One of my favorite YouTube channels. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. How long do you think the Amex blacklist people who defaulted? I don't know. So Wade's asking, how long do you think Amex blacklisted will blacklist people if they default? I have excellent credit. Defaulted Amex about 10 years ago. It should have been. It should be off your credit by then. I don't know if they just hold a grudge and they won't give it back to you. Period. But yeah, after 7 years, it should be off your credit. But if they have like their own special, setup there, if I were you, I mean, I would try to get one of their lower level cards and see where it goes. Um, Yeah, so Wade's saying it's off his credit. Yeah, I would try to get a lower level card, see where it goes. Maybe get the new blue card or something like that, and see if you get that, and then maybe kind of work your way up from there. If that's something you're interested in. Do you have any other cards too? If like you have other credit cards, then maybe you're fine. And then Nika's saying check the pre-approval offers. Yeah, that's true too. And I know, like if you get another, okay, you have Chase Sapphire Reserve. Yeah, I would look into it. I would. I mean, all they can say is no, and I think they probably won't. Uh, Being that you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve already, so you kind of already have a top level card, unless it's one of those deals where it's like forever. If you mess up, you default on an Amex card, you're done. I don't know that. I don't know if they do that, but it's worth a shot. Yeah, some banks look at their own experience with people who don't consider a credit score. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I did call them, and they said I screwed up with them. Oh, wow. So they still know. Wow. All right, let's pull up the Facebook group real quick. And yeah, and you know, Wade, when it comes to that, like just looking at all that, I mean, if you have other cards already and you've already kind of redeemed yourself, I guess in the eyes, they can see that. They'll see the fact that you have other credit cards. You know, maybe it is one of those deals that they'll consider letting you get this card, right? Or letting you get one of the Amex cards again. But if not, you have Chase cards. Chase cards are great. I mean, yeah, I have Chase cards right now. I don't have any Amex cards. Eventually in the future, I'll probably get some, but I mean, the Chase ecosystem is good. Let's see. YouTube are named how to build a credit TV. I think he mentioned he defaulted to Amex, and he now has Amex. Okay. Yeah, that guy has a good channel, too. I've seen his channel, how to build your credit. And Wade saying he has 820. Wow, that's a good credit score. Yeah, I mean, if they don't want to give it to you, they don't want to give it to you. And I would move on. There's City cards out there. You have Chase cards right now. You don't have to have Amex cards. So the only the only thing you're gonna miss out on is the Centurion Lounge. Everything else you can get. Okay, let's pull up the. Let's see here. I need to find the pictures. All right, well, I see David's pictures first, so we'll pull those up. Okay, so this is a steakhouse. What was the name of the steakhouse again? I can't remember. You have to remind me. Okay, here it is right here. Timberline Steak and Grill. Okay, so this is a Facebook group. We're just going to look at some of the pictures here that we have that David posted. So that looks like that was the entrance there. So this is at the airport. So one of the great the best. Look at that. That's ridiculous, Dave. That's ridiculous. So I can't stop laughing now. He's got all these priority pass cards. So one of the big perks of priority pass is the fact that they have these restaurants now working with them. I think that's the best thing. The lounges are okay. I'd give the lounges about a B minus as far as overall. But the fact that they're allowing these, or the fact that these restaurants are now part of the priority pass, where you can get that $28 credit, I think that's excellent, because it allows you now to get food, get like real food before you fly. And I have not done it yet, and this is the bad part. Like I've in the last couple of trips that I've taken, I haven't gotten out. I haven't gotten there in time, and so this trip for sure I will be there early just so I can go to PF Chang's to get some food. But that's one of the huge perks of Priority Pass. I think that's what's keeping people interested in Priority Pass, because I've had some issues with Priority Pass, like the way they set up their. Or it's not it's not Priority Pass, but when you go to some of the lounges, will not allow you to come in because there's people in there already, too many people in or whatever. So I've had some issues with that. But the fact that now that they're branching out and they have the different restaurants, I think it's a real good setup. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button so we can get more people in. So just hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Okay, so we got the party pass. All right. View from the there. Okay, we got nachos here. And this is like, and David, correct me if I'm wrong, but you got all this for free. Like, this is all credit, right? Let's see. We don't have a picture coming up here. Oh, that was it. Yeah, that picture didn't come up. So, Dave, you got all that for free. Oh, here's the burger. I wasn't able to pull that up. And this is in Denver. This is in Denver, Nika. Wow, that looks pretty good. Looks very good. So free food, you can't go wrong with free food. This is the Facebook group, by the way. So if you guys are in here and you're not a part of the Facebook group, jump on in, join our Facebook group. We post a lot of stuff here all day long. Okay, let me move on down. Oh, here's your little setup here. Let's see if the audio is gonna come up here. Let's see if I can play it. Okay. Pretty nice room. Very nice room, actually. Yeah, that's a nice room. All right. Let's go back here. And I'm just showing you guys a few things, but the main thing I wanted to show is Lionel's first class experience there. You got your little upgrade there, Delta. I still need to fly Delta. I haven't flown Delta yet. And David got his Bonvoy card. So this is, like I said, this is the stuff that's in here. So if you guys are into travel and stuff like that, you're going to definitely want to jump in and join the Facebook group so you can be a part of this. It is a private group. You can't just see it and not join. You have to join. Okay. My internet's loading up. Let's go into the chat. TC, I got all that free. I did tip $10 though. Cool. Pill was $27. Wow. And that's a lot of food. Like, you got the appetizer and a meal. I don't even know if I can eat that much. I mean, I can eat that much, but prior to jumping on a plane, I like to be comfortable. I don't want to be like where you're just all bloated full. I don't want to be like that. Not on a plane. Let's see. Yeah, you still have to tip. Yeah, I would. Yeah, they're not getting anything from your credit. The waiter, the waitress. I just got hung up here. I don't know why this stopped. It stopped loading there. Okay. Any connections in Denver? Yeah, that's what Nika, and that's what I would have to do. I'd have to get a connector in Denver because I don't really see myself going to Denver or going to Colorado. No offense to Colorado, but I just don't really see a need at this point. Okay. All right, let's see. We can move down now. All right, we started from the beginning again. Yeah, I'm stopping here. It's not loading. All right, let's move on. And Nika's asking a question about using more than one priority pass. I think, I don't know. That's a good question. David, can you use more than one? I only have one, but obviously you get them with every card that you have that allows you to get priority pass. So if you have the city Prestige card and you have the American Express Platinum card, you're going to get priority passes for all. I don't know where you get. How do you have all those? That's a good question. Or is that like you plus your wives or wives? Well, I said wives. Plus your wife? Or is that just you? And like, what cards are they? How'd you get them? That's really interesting. I didn't even think about that. Like, how many programs did you have to get all those cards? Okay, so this is Lionel's experience, his first class experience. I believe it was first class, right? Or business class. and that's at O'Hare. Yeah, this internet struggles when I'm doing a live stream. Plus, I'm trying to do this, and then I have like my software program up. Let me turn this down a little bit here. Okay, so O'Hare Airport. You know what's funny? Wow, look at that. That's pretty nice looking. It's funny because as I travel more and more, I see some really amazing airports. We're getting there, but we're not there. Like there's some you go out of the country and there's some really amazing airports that have like unbelievable stuff there. And some of them have like a full-on mall. Like we still haven't gotten to that point where everything is behind security. Once you get in, everything is behind security, so you have to go through a checkpoint. So you don't really have like a real like mall because people that are how can I say this? Everyone that's in that area is flying out. So there's some airports that they have a full on mall, so you have access to a full on mall, and then you go through the checkpoint. So some of the checkpoints are right at the terminal, so you check in at the terminal, so anyone can go to the mall. Basically, what I'm saying, so you can go in there and shop and all that stuff. So those tend to have a little bit more. They go more. They do more with it because of that. So here's your first class experience on Qatar. Got a little setup there, pretty nice amenities kit, and blankets and all that good stuff. Little pillow, and that's probably headphones here, I would think. Yeah, that's a nice setup. And let's see the amenities kits always get like I have a few of them, but I've never done anything with them, and I've never used them. Let's just say that I just collect them just as like a souvenir, I guess. All but the United Polaris one. I didn't collect that one because it was in a tin can, and I just didn't have anywhere to put it. Like I couldn't fit it in my carry-on, and so I just left it there. Plus, it's like a tin can. It probably would have gotten crushed or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I think it was United that they have a pretty good. I think it was United that had some really good like lotion. It smelled really good. I believe it was United, and they had that lotion in the kit. So I did take the lotion, but I didn't take any of the other stuff. All right, looks like we're getting pushed out of here. I can't go forward. Let's see. All right, here we go. The good stuff, the food. Wow, that looks really good, that bread. So there's your whole setup there. Got your two little windows here. So that's a nice first class there. Nice experience. And that's what it's all about. For me, when I get points, I want to fly in luxury. I would rather fly in luxury than stay like at a luxury hotel. I just would. I don't know. Hotels are just hotel. I don't know. I mean, there's some. I shouldn't say that because there's some hotels that I want to do it right, like the Maldives, or like go somewhere that's really really nice and stay in one of those nice hotels. But if it's just an average hotel, even if it's a Hyatt Regency or like a higher end Hyatt or Marriott, unless it's like the top end of hotels, then I'm okay with. I would rather spend my money on a comfortable flight overseas. So yeah, pretty nice setup, that's for sure. I don't know why this thing keeps slowing up. Let's see. Damn, David, only 22. Let's see. What are we saying here? TEC, online. I'm only 22. No wife. So you're 22 years old, David? I didn't know you were that young. Wow. No wife yet. No wife yet. Amex Platinum, Amex Business Platinum, Bonvoy Brilliant. Okay. Wow. Yeah, all those cars have priority pass. Cool. And yeah. So you do travel for work, I would imagine. Oh, okay. Lionel saying that black bag that we were looking at, and this I don't know why it keeps stopping. It's giving me issues here. The black bag that we were looking at that had the pajamas in there. Yeah, that is one thing. Like they give you pajamas, which is crazy. And I actually wore my pajamas when I flew when I flew back from Paris. I put those pajamas on. That was an 11-hour flight, so I had those pajamas on. It's moving around. I can't move forward though. It looks like it stops for whatever reason. All right, we're having internet issues. There's one other thing I wanted to look at. So that was that experience. I'm sorry, Lionel, if I couldn't go through everything. I kept trying to pull it up and it would just stop. So I do want to look at something else really quick. This Marriott, the villas, the Airbnb setup thing. Homes and villas. This looks expensive. Let's see. The good thing about it is I would imagine you can earn points with this, so that's good. Trusted hospitality, expert creation. Now I haven't looked at any of this stuff, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm just kind of doing a little quick skim through to see what they have. Wow, these things look really nice, really expensive. uh, and so the learn more is what is that? What are they going to tell me to learn more? Are they going to give me prices, or are they just going to tell me more about the property? Yeah, I'm. Yeah, this looks like high end, like a high end Airbnb experience. Whereas I'm okay with just give me a room in a safe neighborhood. Yeah, I did the learn more and it's not doing anything. So let's see. Private winery reviews. Yeah, that is expensive. Is that a castle? Wow, that's in Ireland. That's pretty nice. And I tried to click on it. It's still loading. So I don't even want to look at that until it loads up. Yeah, it looks nice, but yeah, I definitely would say these are going to be very expensive. This is Palm Springs right here. Yeah. Jay Hill, what's going on? David, do you book your travel directly on Chase Rewards, or do you transfer points to the airline partners and book through them? I will transfer my points for the most part. I haven't seen a better deal just in my experience on the travel portals. So I will transfer them over there to an airline. So my routine, my routine is I will I'll use United. I always use United because it's in that whole Chase ecosystem. So I'll go on United. I'll see what's available, and then once I see what's available, how many points I'm going to use or need to use, then that's when I'll go back to Chase, and then I will. My accounts are already linked up. You have to have an account with United. So you have to sign up for their frequent flyer program. It's free to do that. So you sign up for the frequent flyer program, go back over to Chase, put all that information in Chase on the Ultimate Rewards program, and then transfer the points over. And then I'll transfer them over and I'll book my flight. Just understand too, and this is something that I don't mention that often. I don't think I might. Maybe I'd never mention it. Once you transfer the points over, so if I have points in my Chase account, my Ultimate Rewards account. Once I transfer those points over to United, it doesn't go back. I can't transfer them back. So you want to make sure you're going to be using those points for your flight. So get that flight, all the flight number, all that information first. Then go over, transfer the points. It takes like 5 minutes to transfer them over. Once they're over there, then book your flight. Because once they're in there in United, you can't transfer them back to Chase. So that's something that you're gonna want to know, because you don't want to be in a situation where You say, oh, I was planning on this trip, and let me just transfer the points over, so I'll make sure that they're there first. And then you do that, and then you end up canceling your trip, and now you can't transfer those points back, so you can't use it for like hotel stays or flying on another airline. All right. So I put more information to Ritz-Carlton's. Yeah, these are going to be really pricey, but nice, and it's another alternative. So that's a good setup. And look at this. This is beautiful. Ritz-Carlton, Puerto Rico. Okay, yeah, I need to find out more about this, but I'm gonna click off it now. But I just wanted to kind of open it up, and that link is there, so you guys can check it out and see what's available. But yeah, interesting concept. Let's see if it works for them. All right, let's see if we have any other questions in the chat, and we'll answer those. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button so we can make sure everybody gets a chance to see that we're on the live stream. We've lost a few people, so we'll see if there's anybody else that wants to join in. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel for more information about travel and travel credit cards and making it affordable. That's my whole reason. And just to kind of give you kind of my quick overview, I started out, I'm still a photographer now, but I wanted to do travel photography. But that's been my passion ever since I picked up a camera. I started taking pictures about 10 years ago. So I wanted to do travel photography. I love going out, shooting landscapes and stuff like that. And so I took my first trip. My first trip was to Puerto Rico. I didn't use points or anything like that. I used cash. Got out there, had a really good time, took some pictures. And what I like to do is take pictures in like what I call award-winning photos, because I want to put them in competitions and stuff like that. So I like going to like destination places, landscapes, all that good stuff. Anyway, went to Puerto Rico, had a really good time, took some pictures, and I came back home. When I got back home, I checked, my spending, and I realized I spent like $1,800, and I was there for 5 days, and it was a solo trip, and I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe I spent this much money. I had a good time, but I can't believe I spent this much money. There has to be a better way, because at that time I wanted to travel every 3 to 4 months. I wanted to be out, but I knew that I couldn't afford to do that. I couldn't afford to spend almost $2,000 just to go on a trip for 5 days. And so that's when I started thinking, well, there has to be a better way. And that's when I started incorporating, okay, well, let's look at these travel credit cards. What are they all about? I hear about this stuff, but I don't know anything about them. And so that's when I started looking into the travel credit cards. It took me about 6 months of just doing research. And then I figured, okay, I'm going to start getting these cards. So I got a couple of cards, then I got a couple more. And then I've gotten to the point now where I only have about 7 cards. But it's worked for me. So for the last 2.5 years, I've been using points to travel. I never pay over $500 for airfare and hotel combined. My last trip to Colombia, and granted, Colombia is very affordable to stay there. I actually paid a little bit more than $500, but I stayed there 10 days, and I mean, it was an amazing experience. My flight was like $200. And I paid a little bit more because I went to Carnaval. So for 4 nights, I was in Carnaval, and I had to pay $100 a night. That's only because it was Carnaval going on. At a regular time, it would have been a lot cheaper. So I paid that there, and then when I went to Medellin for another 5 days, I paid $200. It was $200 and something total. It was like $29. Was it 20? Yeah, it was $29 a night. So it was whatever that was. I don't know. Was it even $200? Yeah, it was like $200 with the service fee, maid fee, whatever, the cleaning fee and all that good stuff. So that's what sparked my interest with travel credit cards. That's why I talk about travel credit cards a lot, because it does allow you, it affords you the ability to travel and travel for a lot less. And like I said, I spent almost $2,000 to go to Puerto Rico. I could do now with points and the cash that I would use and the points, I could do 4 trips for that much. right? I could use points and then use that because that $500, I've been able to stay around there for all of my trips except for this last one, and this last one was an exception because of the event that was going on. And Carnaval, just so you know, like in Barranquilla, so you have the largest carnival in the world is in Rio, and the second largest is in Barranquilla, Colombia. So everyone flocks. You have millions of people that are flocking to Barranquilla at that time. So the prices go up on everything. So, but it's a great time, and I will be going back next year. Okay. Let's see. And so Nate's saying, yeah, it does look expensive. Let's say I'm surprised that they don't have an Airbnb credit card. Yeah, you know what? That's a good thing. Like they should. Um, there is a card. I can't think of the card now that works with. Is it Delta? There is a card that kind of works with Airbnb, but yeah, they don't have their own card. They'll probably get something in the future. Okay, Dave, do you book your travel? Okay, we already went over that. Travel Portal is good for last minute hotel bookings. Yes. Even last minute hotel booking, like because the last minute for me, I could still get away with staying at a Hyatt. Like transfer my points over last minute, takes 5 minutes, and doing that. Hyatt used to have a better program with the cash plus points. Now they've changed it where now it used to be cash plus points. You knew how many points you were going to spend, and you knew exactly how much cash you were going to spend because they had it on a scale. So if you're staying in Category 1, it's $50. You stay in a Category 2, it's $55 plus your points. And then, it just went up like that. But now it's half the price of the stay. So let's say it's $300 a night at the time when you book it. Well, then you get it for $150 plus points. So I don't like that because it fluctuates. But yeah, last minute, you could still do some last minute with transferring your points over. Let's see. TEC, check out the flightconnection.com to find all the nonstop flights for most cities in the world with interactive map. Okay, I'll check that out. As a matter of fact, we'll put that on our next live stream. So flightconnections.com. Or is it connections? Nonstop flights connections. Okay, we'll check it out. Is it flight? It's just connections.com looks like. Okay. Have you won any coolest or any contest yet? I have not won overall, but I do have I've won 3 times. So they have different when it comes to like these contests. You have I only enter WPPI contests, and WPPI is like a internationally known photography association. So I belong to them. Actually, I need to re-up because I don't belong to them right at the present time. But for the last 3 years, I belong to WPPI, and it's a wedding and professional photographer. They do a wedding and professional photography convention every year. And then they have 3 competitions every year. So they have one at the convention, and then they have 2 other ones that are just kind of you just send your info in there. But the great thing about it is you're competing against the best photographers in the world. You should be everyone. Most of the professional photographers belong to that association, or they belong to PPA, which is another association. So they belong to one of the 2. So those are the ones that I compete with because that's the best of the best. So I've been recognized. I have 3 images that have been recognized through them, but I haven't won the top prize. So, but just getting recognized. I mean, there's only you have to be pretty much. It's kind of they have silver, gold, and then prizes. Okay, so silver, gold, prizes, and then the prizes: first place, second place, third place, and then you have. But the way that it works is if you qualify for silver, then if you qualify with silver with distinction, then you have an opportunity to win first, second, or third. So they just take from the pool. So let's say you have 20 pictures, and 5 of them get silver with distinction. I'm just giving you an example. They get silver with distinction. They qualify to win the top prize. So, but they're still recognized as being a award winner because you got silver. So, all right. Let's move on. 2-minute flights, travel portals. Let's do. Okay, so there. I'll put that link. Yeah, flightconnections.com and Rolo, like hotels.com. Yeah, hotels.com is good. My last experience, this is Rolo saying he likes hotels.com. My last experience was not good. And I don't know if it's with all their flights or all their hotel stays. And I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again just so you guys kind of know what to expect or what could happen with hotels.com. My last trip that I booked when I was in Colombia, I booked this trip with hotels.com when I stayed in Barranquilla. And I was there. I was going to stay. Initially, I was going to stay for 7 nights, or that's what I booked because I always book the hotel first because you can get the free cancellation. So I booked the hotel. I booked it for 7 nights. I didn't know exactly what my plans were going to be at the time. I knew I was going to be there, and I wanted to be there during Carnaval, but I didn't know if I was going to do 2 cities or if I was just going to do 1. So I booked 7 nights, and then later on, I realized, okay, you know what? I want to stay there for 5 nights. Carnival ends. It ended on I think it was a Wednesday. So I didn't want to stay there an extra couple of days because Carnival wasn't there anymore. And Barranquilla is it's pretty calm. Like everybody parties for Carnival, and then after Carnival, it really dies down. And so I decided, hey, you know what? I want to go to Medellin. So I went to Medellin, or I booked my flight and everything. So I was going to be in Medellin for 5 days. So I went to go change my booking with hotels.com, and you get free cancellation, which is great. But if you make any changes, they charge you whatever the rate is at the present time. So I was getting a room for $114 or something like that a night when I booked it, and I booked it a couple months prior. So now that I wanted to make a change, and it was like 3 weeks before I was going to actually go out there, they charged me $189 a night for each night that I wanted to stay there. So the difference, changing it from the 7 days that I had already booked to 4 days that I wanted to book, I was going to save on my bill. My bill was like $800. I was going to save $60. So it didn't at that. I was like, this is ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense for me to change it. I might as well just keep the 7 nights. Because I'm not getting a good deal. Like it was ridiculous. And so, and to top it off, I was staying at a Hilton property. It was a Garden Inn, Hilton property. So realistically, what I should have done is booked it directly with Hilton. It was the same price. And so if I would have booked it with Hilton, I could have canceled no problem. I could have kept the 4 days and canceled the other 2. Or I don't even have to cancel. I could just go there, stay the 4 days, and then that third day go down there to the front desk and say, hey, you know what? I have a flight. I'm going to be flying out. Just cancel the other 3 days, and they would have done it, no problem. But when I did it with hotels.com, it wasn't like that, and they took your money right away. So it wasn't one of those deals where, like, if you stay at a hotel. If you go directly through the hotel, you book your stay and everything, they will charge you. Well, they don't even charge you the 1 night, but if you don't go, then they'll charge you 1 night. But they take your money. Hotels.com took my money right away. Even though it was a free cancellation, they took my money. And then what I ended up doing is I said, okay, well, I'm either going to stay these 7 nights or not stay these 7 nights. I'm either going to keep it the way it is. I'm not going to change it, or I'll find another hotel that's around that same price, $100 a night. And so I found another hotel. It was Hotel Ibis, which is it's a common hotel in Colombia, but it's not in the U.S. And so I was a little scared about that, not really knowing what to expect. Like, you book it, what do you don't know what you're gonna get, right? So, I went ahead and booked it. I looked at the reviews; it was fine. So I booked that. Then I canceled the hotels.com. And they reimbursed me my money, but it was just I got a real bad and I don't book with them very often, and I just got a real bad vibe when they did that. It's one of those deals. I won't do that again. That's for sure. And so I did, and Nika put this on here, bookings.com. When I booked, I actually went through bookings.com. And that was the first time that I did that. And the reason that I did that, and they just happened to send, like, they know what you're doing. They know they know what you're doing on the internet, what you're looking at. Because when I was looking for different hotels, then what do I get? An email from my American Airlines Advantage card sending me an email saying, hey, if you go through bookings.com, you can get extra points. I can't remember how many points it was. It wasn't much, maybe 1,500 or 2,500 points if I booked through bookings.com through their link. And so I'm like, oh, I'll look at it. So I clicked on the link. It opened up, and Ibis Hotel was one of the hotels. So I said, yeah, you know what? Might as well book it. And so instead of doing hotels.com, I still did go through the third party. But it worked out. It worked out fine. And at that point, I couldn't book directly anymore. Like the hotels, like if I wanted to book directly, I wanted to book with a Hilton property or a Marriott property. And those prices were all in the $185, $200 a night, and I didn't want to pay that much. So yeah, and then the next time when I go back to Carnaval, I'm definitely going to do an Airbnb, and I'm going to do an Airbnb that's within walking distance of the Carnival, because what I found is that staying in a hotel, and a lot of the hotels are in more the business district, you got to take a cab. So I got to take a cab in to Carnaval, and just think of it. There's millions of people. There's like a million people there. I won't say millions, but there's a lot of people on the parade route, and so traffic was just crazy. And then when you want to leave the Carnaval, you can't catch a cab. There's just too many people for the number of cabs that they have. And so I was walking like 2-3 miles just to get far enough away in order to catch a cab, because all the cabs were full. So next time, Airbnb near the Carnival, within walking distance, so I can just walk to the Carnival every day, and then walk back to my room. And then it's good too, because you can walk out, hang out at the Carnival for a little bit, come back, relax, and it's hot. It's really hot out there, so you can come back, take a shower, and do whatever, and then go back out, hang out at the Carnival for a little bit more, and then come back, and then all the parties and the block parties and everything. It's all around the Carnival, the parade route, so you can pretty much walk to all that if you want to, or you can take a cab. So yeah, next time I've learned, so next time I'll do it differently. ImageWire, what's going on, buddy? Hotwire.com has the same archaic policies as Hotel.com. Yeah, I just don't understand like why they do it like that. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. Now you do get that after 10 nights, and I've only done that once where I've stayed 10 nights, and then what they don't tell you, you get a free night, but what they don't tell you is it's a percentage of how much you're paying every night. So, or it's an average, I should say. So let's say you stay, on average, it's $100 worth of stays, the 10 nights that you stay. So you get that free night, but that free night's going to be a value of $100. So it's not like a free night. It's only a free credit for the average of your stay. So if the room is $150, you're still going to have to pay that $50, but you'll get that $100 credit. Okay. Nika saying Ibis is big, international. Okay, and I never heard of them before. So that's the first time I ever stayed in one. And I'll tell you that Ibis Hotel was nice. It was nice. The room was a little small, but I think it's just kind of that's just the style. Like in Colombia, the rooms are a little bit smaller, the hotel rooms. And I haven't stayed in too many hotels. Like the Ibis, I've stayed at the Ibis. I've stayed at the Estelar. I've stayed in that once. That room was a little bit larger, but the room was relatively small, but clean, modern. They had a breakfast. Breakfast was okay. But yeah, it was a nice hotel. Like I would recommend staying there again, but not for Carnival. It's not close enough to anything. And another thing too is the taxi drivers didn't know the hotel. It's relatively new in Barranquilla. It was like one of the newer hotels. And the reason I know is because I looked at Google Maps and it wasn't even there. Like, it was under construction. So it was a relatively new hotel. But the thing is, the man, I just lost train of thought. I saw Nika's wrote something about it being small, and I lost my train of thought. Oh, the taxi driver. So the taxi drivers didn't know where it was, and that's how far. I was about 10 minutes away from the parade route. But every time I get in a cab, and I tell them, Ibis Hotel, and they're like, Ibis Club Ibis. I'm like, yeah, Ibis Hotel. They didn't know where it was. And so there was one taxi driver completely got lost. And we were driving around in circles. And I'm bad because I'm not knowing exactly where I am. And I'm looking up because the hotel was pretty tall, like a skyline. So I'm looking up for the hotel. I couldn't find it. But, yeah, it's in Barranquilla, it's not very, like, known because there are a lot of people that didn't know. I got to the point where I had to learn the address. And that's one thing, you should always have the address. So I had the address, and the time that we got lost, I had the address on my phone. My phone died. I didn't know exactly where I was going, and so I'm telling them how to get there, and then we're driving around in circles. But you should have that address. Anyway, I mean, you should have the address. You should have that address on your phone and written somewhere when you get on the plane, because you always, when you do the declaration, when you're going into the country, you always have to put where you're going, like where you're traveling to, and they want the address. They won't just take the hotel. They want you to actually tell them where you're going. So yeah, if you've never traveled outside of the country before, always have that address where you're going, so you can put it on your declaration form. Okay, this role of having a status and taking advantage of loyalty programs, promotions can get a better return and one free night per 10 nights. I also prefer status upgrades and perks by going through the hotel. Yeah, Michael raises some good points there. So if you're dealing directly with the hotel, you're showing a commitment to stay at that hotel. If you're in their frequent program, whatever the program is that they have, then you can get points towards free nights, and you get status upgrades and all that good stuff. If you're going through a third party, you're not going to get those same perks. So it's always, I always tell people, it's better to deal direct with the airlines, deal direct with the hotels. Because you'll just get an overall better experience, and sometimes they'll work with you. Like I booked a flight. Was it on JetBlue? Yeah, I booked a flight on JetBlue before, and I had I couldn't fly. Like I couldn't make the flight, and they actually canceled it for me and didn't charge me anything extra. They put my money in, like, they have their little JetBlue bank thing, so the money was still there. I still had to use a ticket, but they didn't charge me anything for canceling. And this was weeks after I booked, but I got sick. Like, I was really sick to the point where I wasn't even thinking about traveling. And it wasn't a long flight. I was only flying up to Seattle, so I wasn't flying very far. But yeah, I couldn't do it, and so I told them, yeah, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to be able to go on the trip, and they just credited my account. So, and that's dealing directly with them. Now, if I'm going through a third party, you can have issues doing that. So, just something to think about. And let's see. I stayed at IPS in France, or I stayed at Ibis in France. Okay, they're in France. I didn't know that. I stayed at Ibis in France, Morocco, and Australia. She's saying Ibis is hecka small. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed. It was a very small room, but everything was, it had everything that I needed. But it was so funny because, and I have a, check out my channel. I did a video, the first video that I did when I was in Barranquilla. So I was coming from the airport, and you'll see me, like, I'm sitting in a cab, and the cabbie's next to me. I did a little quick walkthrough of the room, and they don't have a closet. Like, they had just a space, so it didn't have a door that closed. The space with the hangers on top and all that. But it had everything that I would need in a hotel room. The view was horrible though. My view was the hospital next door, and so I could see inside of the hospital, which is, yeah, that's nothing. But yeah, it was a decent hotel. I didn't know that they were that big though. I thought, like, when I looked them up, the only reason I booked them is because it was $100. Okay. I used Wyndham rewards a lot when I'm traveling. Budget stays. I often use points combined with a low nightly rate to stay kind of like Hyatt does. Okay, so that's Nate just saying they use the points plus cash kind of option. Uh, and he says it's a way to stay while road tripping. All right, cool. All right, guys. I am gonna take off now. I appreciate you guys all stopping by and joining the conversation. And we'll be back on next Saturday. And I'm still working. I'm still working on the whole Skype call. This is my thing, and I'll just say this at the very end. If you guys are in here right now and you haven't hit the like button, please do so. You guys see, I keep saying hit the like button. I like to get at least 30 likes on my video, on a live stream. It just helps with the future, like people watching it after after we're done with it. Plus, when we're on here, it does help with people coming in. So that's why I like to say the like button. I know you guys get tired of me saying that, but anyway, yeah. So the Skype, I want to do Skype calls. I'm really anal about, like, I want to be able to keep everything the way it is as far as the setup. I can do this with like a Google Hangout, but it just doesn't look the same. So I'm trying to do the Skype calls, but I'm running into these issues where it's just not working the way that I want it to work. So once I get that all dialed in and figured out, then I'm going to start having guests on the show. So that's what's coming next. And then we have guests, and we can have people who are experts, or we can have people who have just traveled or are out traveling. We can talk with them and just, yeah, it'd be better. It's not just me talking; it's other people that are participating. And if you guys want to be a guest, hit me up. Say, hey, I want to be a guest. I want to talk about this, that, this. You can be on camera. You don't have to be on camera. You can be off camera. Just have your voice. We could do that as well. So. All right, so we are gonna go. What else? We got a few more things in here. I just want to look at real quick. Oh, I stayed in Ibis in Nigeria. Okay, so Ibis is everywhere. Wow, I should have got an Ibis. I should have joined their frequent flyer or frequent stay thing program. I didn't know they were that all over. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take off, and I'll be back on next Saturday. And please join that Facebook group if you haven't done so already, and you can get more information, more updates. Anytime I go live, I like to put it out to the Facebook group so they know that I'm going live. So if I change times, or if it's, let's say it's an off day and I'm just going live on an off day, then I let you guys know before, so you guys will have a heads up if I'm going to go live. All right, so thank you for stopping by, and I'm going to take off. I did, you know what? I'm going to show you guys this. You guys are going to get a sneak peek because I haven't put this out yet. Let's see. How should I do this? Yeah, I can pull it up here. I'll probably hear it first. Okay. Oh, stop. All right. So I wanted to start like an opener video because this is not the beginning. Okay, so now I have like an opener, like I don't know what they call those things. It's not a teaser. I don't know what it's called, but like opener when you when you do a video. Now this isn't going to be for everything. This is going to be mainly for the travel videos that I do. And then I might do another one. I don't even know if I don't need to do one for the credit card stuff, the credit card reviews. But when I do other stuff, then I'm going to have this kind of as an opener. So usually you have like the YouTube videos are kind of set up the way where you'll have like a hook. So you'll have just something that kind of hooks you into the video, right? So you'll see that. So if I'm traveling, you're gonna see kind of the hook, something interesting, and then you go to the intro, and then you start the actual video. So this is my intro. Let me just show you guys this. Okay, so there it is, and here it goes. Let me know what you guys think, and be nice. You don't have to let me know right now, but maybe later on the Facebook group or whatever. All right, there it is. It's short, but yeah, that's a little intro, just so I can, show it at the beginning. Because my whole thing is, I just don't like. I had just random stuff. Like I would do kind of this random. I wanted to have one that was just universal, so you guys know, okay, this is the video. This is his video, and you get used to it. Whereas I was just doing kind of like the Colombia stuff, that the videos that I did put up, and I have a bunch of videos that I can still put up. But the videos that I put up, I was doing random stuff like, oh, okay, this looks good. I'll do this one for this one. And then another video, I would do this for this one. And they weren't uniform. So that's what I'm going with now. All right. I think that's it. That's all I wanted to show you guys. Thank you for stopping by. And we'll be back on next Saturday. All right. And I'm putting out some videos. I'm actually, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to start shooting some more videos. So we'll have some more videos for the rest of the week. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. Bye.